What's up, Average Dad fans? Welcome back to another video. And yes, it's the culmination of the Vivo X Fold 3 and the Vivo X Fold 3 Pro. The final video that will feature both of these phones together, and it's a big one. It's the full comparison. I am going to tell you all of the differences, including the 4 big differences between these two devices. So grab your iron brew, your shortbread, and anything else Scottish you can find. This is going to be a good one. Let's go. Now, to start with, I want to talk about the similarities. The things, features, hardware, software that are the same on both devices, no matter what. So any questions, are they definitely the same? Yes, trust me, exact same, no differences. The biggest similarities are the displays. Yes, large format foldable phones, their USP, unique selling point, is that they have 2 screens. When you don't want to use your phone like a typical candy bar style phone, you can simply unfold the device and give yourself a tablet style experience. Both of the displays on the X Fold 3 series are flagship premium 120Hz 2K plus panels, but they are exact same. Peak brightness 4,500 nits. No differences. So if you've seen videos that are comparing the two and one looks better than the other, they're not. It's just a placebo effect. They are the exact same specifications on each. Now, the other hardware aspect that is technically the same are the speakers. Stereo speakers on both phones. They sound great. They really do. Now, are they as good as the OnePlus Open speakers? No, not in my opinion. But comparing these two phones together, they are the same speakers. The only difference that you might hear in sound is due to the dimensions of the phone. Because the Pro variant is slightly thicker by about 1 millimeter, there's more room inside for the sound to reverberate, which can lead to slightly better sounding speakers on the Pro variant compared to the standard, but they are the same speaker setup inside the device. Now, other similarities with hardware is a USB-C port and the infrared port. It's USB-C 3.2 with OTG, it's UFS 4.0 storage, and it's DDR5X RAM. So that's basically all the similarities taken care of. Storage-wise, it's the same. USB-wise, it's the same. Infrared port is the same. And then software-wise, it's Origin OS 4 on both devices, the same, and a Chinese ROM. And at this point in time, it looks like, for all the people still asking the question, it's always going to be a Chinese ROM. I cannot see a global release of the X Fold 3 or X Fold 3 Pro, sadly, but trust me, nobody out there more than me hopes that it does get a global release. It's just unlikely. Now, if you didn't see my video on the Cosbet Tank M3 Ultra, the one benefit of this watch is that it pairs seamlessly with both of these devices. Folks, Seriously, as much as I have done a review on this and Cosbit sent to me and I get 5% commission on each, I would be telling you the same thing. This watch is the watch I wear daily now. It's a rugged smartwatch, but it looks fantastic. It's got full functionality with Chinese ROMs. I get calls on it, notifications straight away. It's honestly the most seamless watch I've ever had with any Chinese ROM. And if you're looking to buy it, it's roughly £100, but I've got a discount code in description, and the link to purchase is in description. And that was the final main similarity, that they're both Chinese ROM devices, which come with their own quirks. I'm not going to go into that in this video. I've done many setup videos on Chinese ROMs. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest differences of the devices. The first big difference is the design, believe it or not. Yes, while on the face of it, both of these phones look very similar. There's a slightly larger camera bump on the Pro, but where things actually matter is in dimensions. The X Fold 3 standard is 0.9 millimeters thinner than the Pro. It is also 25 grams lighter than the Pro. Now, in day-to-day life, are you actually going to notice that? Because conveniently, both of these devices come with a case included in the box. The cases are super premium, they have hinge protection, and folks, please, even coming from me, who normally doesn't slap a case on all these phones, please put the case on this phone because it is a premium feeling and looking case. But the point being, with the case on, you really don't notice that 1 millimeter thickness and difference or the weight, to be honest. But the difference is there. And for some people, having the world's lightest foldable phone and second thinnest foldable phone is a bit of a flex. So that might be the one for you. However, in this comparison, as I stand here, I can tell you there's really not a huge difference in thickness and weight from day-to-day use. Just a quick interruption to talk about channel membership giveaways. I know, I have to do it. Small channel's got to make some money somehow, but trust me, in the long run, you will be the ones benefiting. So, as you all know, I have a YouTube membership program. You can join that down below. However, YouTube charge 70%. Yes, they keep 70% of the revenue. So for me, it makes way more sense to move my membership program to buymeacoffee.com. I've changed mine to Buy Me a Beer. You can sign up there for $5, $10, $15 a month, however much you like to give a month, and that enters you into the private WhatsApp group chat and monthly giveaways. Now, this month, I will be doing a giveaway on both platforms, Buy Me a Beer and YouTube. Going forward, it'll be one giveaway combining the both. But this month, 2 separate giveaways, and you get the choice. Now, there are 45 members on YouTube, so you've got a 1 in 45 chance there, but there are only 7 members on Buy Me a Coffee so far, so your chances of winning are far greater on there. So please support the channel, sign up there. And so you know what you're getting into, this month's giveaway on May 1st, you get to choose. You can choose a cash prize of £50, €50 or $50, whichever currency you prefer, or the recently reviewed Cosbit Tank M3 Ultra, valued at just around £100 or $120, or maybe you're a headphone fan. Unopened, unused, still sealed, OnePlus Buds Pro 2, valued at £179 or $200 roughly. Yes, you get the choice, cash or one of these tech gifts. I really appreciate all that have signed up to the YouTube subscription so far. All I'm asking you to do is, to be honest, cancel that one and move over to buy me a coffee, because YouTube taking 70% is just scandalous to me, and I'm sorry it took so long for me to even realise that's how much they were taking. Anyway, good luck to whoever wins. I will be back on May 1st with a video telling you who won. And for now, let's get back to the comparison. Now, we've obviously got to talk about cameras and price, and another big difference later on at the end of the video. You're going to want to hear the biggest difference at the end of the video, because it could very much benefit one of you. When we talk about a difference, this is not big, believe it or not. Battery. The 5,500 milliamp hour battery in the X Fold 3 Standard has consistently got me 9 to 11 hours of screen on time. That's 2 full days of usage, because I tend not to use my phone for more than 5 or 6 hours a day with the screen on. So that's 2 full days of usage. If I don't use the X Fold 3 heavily, which to be honest I haven't been over the past week to 10 days, my SIM card has been in the Pro variant. So I have been using that one mostly, which means the X Fold 3 is not looking around for a 5G mast or a 4G mast, and that takes up a lot of battery. So because it's effectively only been used for content, I've not charged it for near enough 4 days. And it's still got nearly half battery. But again, that's not a real life use case scenario, because I'm not using it that much. When I was using it as my daily driver for nearly 2 weeks, I was getting consistently 2 full days, and again, between 9 and 11 hours of screen on time. The same could be said for the X Fold 3 Pro, but the battery on the X Fold 3 Pro is actually bigger. It's 5,700 milliamp hours. And the other difference, it's a big difference we're going to talk about, is the chipset. It's a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chip, and I'll not get into that too much just now because I'm going to talk about that soon. But in terms of battery, while the X Fold 3 Pro battery is bigger, it's powering a newer chip and the V2 chip. Remember, the Pro variant has the special Vivo V2 chip, which helps with performance, image processing, AI. There's lots of things the V2 chip is doing in the background, and it's taking up power. So folks, believe it or not, battery-wise, the X Fold 3 Standard is better. The X Fold 3 Pro is still fantastic. It's still probably the number 2 battery on any foldable device, only beat by its younger sibling, the X Fold 3. The X Fold 3 Pro was getting me between 7 to 10, 8 to 10 hours. I could never get past a 10-hour screen on time. However, again, for me, that's 2 full days. You pop that hour time into your daily use. If you use it 10 hours a day, then I guess the X Fold 3 Pro is only a 1-day battery life phone for you. 10 hours is a lot of screen on time for 1 day though. Please get out and see the world. And since we've just been talking about it, let's talk about the chipsets. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 on the Standard and the 8 Gen 3 on the Pro. There is no doubt that the 8 Gen 3 is a better and more efficient chip. It just is. Performance-wise, AI-wise, 8K video, there are capabilities that the 8 Gen 3 chip brings that the 8 Gen 2 chip just can't. So future-proof-wise, the 8 Gen 3 is the way to go. When I say future-proof-wise, I'm talking like 3, 4, 5 years down the line. The 8 Gen 2 is going to be absolutely fine for the next 3 or 4 years. But just, again, with the V2 chip inside as well, I do believe that as more and more AI features come out, the X Fold 3 Pro is more geared for those kind of improvements. And we all know why Vivo put an 8 Gen 2 chip in the standard version. It was to keep costs down. And when we talk about costs later on, which is, spoiler, another big difference, I absolutely get it. The value that you're getting from the X Fold 3 standard far exceeds the value you're getting from the X Fold 3 Pro. So before we talk about cameras, which is another big difference, let's talk about price. You probably know already that the standard Vivo X Fold 3 for a 0.5 TB of storage and 16 GB of RAM is going to cost you just under 1,000 Great British Pounds. You might also know that the same storage and RAM on the Pro variant is going to cost you just over £1,350, making there a roughly £370 difference. I have done about 12 videos in total on both phones. Please look through them all before making your purchasing decision, because I don't think £370 is good value in terms of the upgrade from the standard to the Pro variant. However, I do think if you can afford to get the Pro and it doesn't give you a sleepless night spending so much money on a device, get the Pro. Because the differences that it does bring are many. And as we've talked about already, there are a lot of similarities. The X Fold 3 standard does have better battery life. But the big elephant in the room for me is cameras. And that's our penultimate big difference. The cameras on the X Fold 3 Pro are not only the best on any foldable. Yes, it beats the OnePlus Open. It is also just behind the Vivo X100 Pro, the S24 Ultra, the Oppo X7 Ultra, and the Xiaomi 14 Ultra. I put the Vivo X Fold 3 Pro camera system in my top 5. Better than the iPhone, better than the Google Pixel. Yes, slam me in the comments if you don't agree, but I have used this consistently. Just to give you an idea, I went into the office yesterday and I'm very privileged. Where I work, I get some fantastic views. Look at just a few examples of these photos. Look at this zoom shot taken from the Pro. Look at this wide shot taken from the Pro on a nice sunny day in Edinburgh. You are not going to beat that with any camera. You're just not. And I include DSLRs here, by the way, and I know I'm going to get shot down for that as well. I am one of those people that believe mirrorless cameras and DSLRs are redundant at this point. Unless you are a wildlife photographer that needs to have one of those like lenses that is this big, you don't need a DSLR or mirrorless camera nowadays. But with that being said, the standard X Fold 3 still has a great camera setup. However, I would put it just in line with the OnePlus Open, the Honor Magic V2, the Google Pixel Fold. They're all good foldable camera setups, but the Pro takes it to the next level where it's actually just an all-round good camera setup. And that's where the biggest difference is for me. And that's why if you can afford it, I would pay the extra money, because the cameras on all lenses are better. The zoom in particular is just mind-blowing from a 3x optical lens. Now, as far as video recording, the selfie cameras, the internal selfie cameras, they are all exact same on both devices. So if it's video conferencing calls or Teams calls you want to do, or selfie video, then buy the X Fold 3 standard, because it's the same output on all of those lenses. The differences only come in the better lenses on the rear cameras. Now, I've got a few other things that are fantastic features on both devices. I talked about display out. You can connect both of these devices to your monitor screen. You can mirror the phone onto your Mac or Windows PC. You can put them both in flex mode in all apps. Both of these phones can flex and use all the functionality of the trackpad or screenshots or everything on a desk. You can use both as a tripod. You can use both phones as selfie cameras, but using the rear lenses by using the fold option. Just use the front cover display as your camera and use the rear cameras as your selfie. All the features are the same on both devices. And now, for the biggest difference between these two specific devices. This is X Fold 3 Standard. This is not for sale. This is the X Fold 3 Pro, my X Fold 3 Pro, and this is for sale. First come, first serve, Instagram, £1,370 on WONDA, or £1,270 from me, including shipping, next day delivery. I don't need both phones, so one has to go. And for me, it's the Pro because there's a few other devices on the horizon and potentially one arriving tomorrow that I need to put my SIM card in and use. So, if you've enjoyed this comparison video, if it's answered some of your questions, please leave a comment below and let me know that it's helped. Or go one further, use the link below and buy me a beer. I mean, I'm Scottish. I've got a beer belly. I need some more beer. But in all seriousness, these videos are made to help you make the right purchasing decision. Even with the Standard, while it is under £1,000, that is a boatload of money for anyone to spend on a piece of tech. So make sure you've done your research before you hit the purchase button. And if you are going to hit the purchase button, you might as well do it through my link on WONDA in description. As I mentioned at the top of the video, this will be the last video I make with these two phones together. I'm selling the X Fold 3 Pro, so I will have more content at some point, but I see some of the comments, so I will not produce any more X Fold 3 content for a while now. I'll give you a break, but don't worry, I have some very exciting tech coming soon. If you enjoyed this video, smash like, and until next time,